Hey guys, I wanted to give a quick tip on how to use like old gift cards, hotel room keys, all this plastic that we usually end up throwing away. Um, what I do is I'll just cut these up into different strips, which you'll see here. I have a whole bunch of just, you name it, different odd sizes and things like that. So I'm going to show how I'm able to use those for my woodwork. Occasionally, I'll run into pieces. If you're a woodworker, wood is not perfect. No piece is the same. So every once in a while, you'll get a piece just for demonstration purposes where the piece is actually splitting here, but you need to repair that. And I'm going to show how I use these little pieces of plastic from the gift cards and how I fix these pieces of wood. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll take my glue and I'll put just a little bit of glue inside here, which, if when you're working with the actual piece, it's not going to be all off here like this, but you'll put it on the inside that space here. Let's say, for example, you're not able to squeeze a lot of glue inside this space. What I do is I'll put some glue on the stick here, on the little plastic strips that I've made, and that's flexible enough to where it gets inside the crack of the wood there. So then I just move it in and out, and I just keep adding glue as I go here, just to get a lot of glue inside this space here, and I'll flip it around just so both sides, are even. And then I'll either clamp or I'll just put some tape, just as a clamp, just so that glue can set up and dry. So that's one of the ways that I get in there. Another way is you'll see these fancy like Rockler glue spreaders and all this fancy stuff, which I don't mind. I have nothing against that, but I tell you, if I don't have to spend any money to to be able to do this, I've actually, I've taken strips of wood and everything, but I've had some of the wood, where you can get a splinter just in case, if it's a cutoff piece. So I'm going to show how I actually laminate and spread my glue, and this is just an example here. So I'll get one of my credit cards here, or cards from the hotels, and that's how I'm able to spread my glue. Just, and then I just wash this off and reuse these over and over and over again. Um, another thing that you might use these for is, for example, like let's say you have a lot of glue spread out here, and I'm going to try to get a good. Let's say you have a lot of squeeze out. I mean, not spread out, but you have a lot of squeeze out, and if it's a nice piece that you want to potentially stain, and you want to get all that glue, sometimes it's hard to get in there. So when you cut a piece, cut them to where you can get that, get inside there, and all you need is, just a little rag here, wipe it off, and get off all that glue. Because sometimes if you use a rag, it spreads it around in there, and you really can't get all of it sometimes. So this, having that little sharp edge there, be careful, when you store these. So that's able to get that sharp edge, and then you just come through with a dry rag, and you can clean all that out. So there's a lot of ways. Another thing that I use this for is, let's say, for example, I have a really long crack in the wood. I'll actually put this inside of there, just along there, just enough to where I can spread it out, and then I'll just put my glue right on the card here, and then I just shake it around, kind of like how I showed earlier. But sometimes I use these as just even as like a spreader, so I can get up inside there and then actually put the glue in there. So hopefully this will help somebody else out. I know that for me, I love being able to use it to laminate, to clean up. Uh, you name it. They're super nice. And then after I finish, I just take these to my sink over here, clean off all the glue, and then just reuse them. I just store all these in just like a drawer. And I do random sizes too. I mean, there's even times where I have to make little itty bitty strips like that just so I can get in a tiny, tiny little crack. And so these are perfect. I've had wood break off inside there. So hopefully this will help somebody else out and makes it a little bit easier for you when you're doing some woodwork. We'll see you guys later.